Hey guys! Yay! We're in separate rooms because we're too introverted. No, that's actually like a fact of that's exactly what happened. We were too introverted and now we're separate. Um, yeah, but we are gonna do Chinese Zodiacs, which is a request video, and I think we are gonna actually upload this at the correct time this time. So happy Chinese New Year!
Yay! Okay, so this is interesting because I don't. Do you like have like a more innate feel of what the Chinese zodiac signs are?
No.
No? Okay.
Okay, no, actually, like, so you know those Chinese menus? My preparation for this was like looking at one of those Chinese placemat things.
Okay. I just went to a website and I just like looked at the main characteristics and yeah, I just typed it on that. So, okay, I'll start with ISTJ. For ISTJ, I said ox. So the ox is reliable, persistent, cautious, industrious, stubborn, moody. So a lot of them like reliable and persistent. That reminds me of like high SI, like determining their own preferences and establishing routines that work well for them. And industrious and stubborn sounds like TE. And just the general idea of like an ox plowing through the fields kind of slowly but steadily sounds like an ISTJ.
So for ISTJ, I put dog because, okay, it says loyal and honest. You work well with others, generous yet stubborn, and often selfish. So I thought of like FI, hidden agenda. And I don't know, like the whole loyal and honest thing makes me think of like SI and FI.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. INTJ. For INTJ, I said snake.
Oh my gosh. So much for me thinking we're gonna have so many matches.
Okay. So, apparently the snake has clear goals, but may take a while to finish them. They like to think first and act second. And generally they kind of are thinkers, and they can be secretive and have few friends. So just like the whole like kind of thinking first, acting second sounds very introverted, and also sounds like a dominant perceiver, introverted perceiver. And yeah, having clear goals is kind of TE. And I think NI is often secretive, not like intentionally, but just because we don't know how to communicate our kind of non-verbal thoughts externally. So that reminded me of like NI.
Man, this is so sad. I feel like, okay, so what happened, guys, was that Alex looked at a legit website and I looked at a Chinese menu placemat. Because, no, that sounds like so good. Anyway, I thought this one was like really obvious based on the mat. I put the rat because, okay, so it says on the menu, it says you are ambitious yet honest, which I think of as like T and FI, prone to spend freely, which I think of actually as inferior SE, which is really funny. Seldom makes lasting friendships. Actually, that might not be true. Okay, I don't know, but we've both gone with the whole like not having friends.
Oh my gosh. Okay, ESTJ. For ESTJ, I said rooster. So roosters.
Really? Oh my gosh. Okay. No,
We
it's
should
so
have.
interesting.
Oh man, I was thinking about this when I was making. I'm like, oh, maybe I should send her the site so that we like do the same site.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh well. Okay, so apparently the rooster is independent. They are planners. They're organized and efficient. They can be eccentric. So I guess the whole like independent, planning, organized, efficient, that's all very like dominant TE. And I feel like the eccentric is that like tertiary hidden agenda NE that can come out and like make them like really kind of goofy and like unexpectedly weird when you wouldn't expect that from an ESTJ.
But yeah, now we have a half match because I put the ox. Like,
Okay.
for my Chinese menu, all it said was bright, patient, and inspiring to others, which I don't know, I think of like, I guess maybe not to everyone else, but to me, like dominant TE is very inspiring. And it says you can be happy by yourself, yet make outstanding parents. I don't know, for some reason, I just think of ESTJ like by themselves. And yeah, I don't know. I think of like ESTJ father figure as could be a good parent.
Yeah, I see that. Okay, ENTJ. ENTJ, I said tiger. So the tiger is determined, confident, frank. They push themselves hard for the success, and they want to achieve quick success. So I guess, yeah, like the determined and confident seems like high TE again. Same with frank. Especially, I think, like you notice, like with STJs often have a little bit more kind of social sensibilities of like what to say and what not to say, but like the NTJs can just be like super blunt. So I feel like Frank is like so ENTJ, and I think that wanting to achieve quick success is very like NISE, of just like NI just seeing this like future vision, and SE just like acting on it immediately, but they don't actually like foresee all the SI steps that it'll actually take to get there.
Yeah, I put tiger too. Yeah, even based on this menu, it says tiger people are aggressive, which is TESE, courageous, which is SE, candid, and sensitive, which I think of both as SI and low SI as sensitive.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Yay. ENTJs, I see your sensitivity. You cannot hide from me. Yep.
Okay, moving on to ISFJ. For ISFJ, I said rabbit. So, according to the site that I went to, rabbits are polite, they're cautious, responsible, gentle, good at dealing with others, and can be timid or overly peaceful. So, a lot of the kind of like polite and like responsible and good at dealing with others seems like FE, and like cautious and I guess responsible again can seem like high SI, and just the general kind of like peaceful or timid persona that you often get from like ISFJs seem to fit.
Okay. Yeah, another white fluffy creature. I put sheep. I don't know, this one's kind of tough. I don't really deal well when there are repeat ones. Like, if there was 16, I would have a much... I don't know, my SI is like OCD. I'm like, no, I can't do this. Anyway, I put sheep. It says elegant and creative, which, I don't know. This is kind of like, a lot of people don't think ISFJs as creative, but for some reason, when it's elegant and creative, I just think of those like Etsy things that, you know, like creating like stationery and notebooks and like making flowers on the wall. Yeah. So I think of ISFJ, and it says, you're timid and prefer anonymity. So I don't know. I just think of, ISFJ with their Pinterest boards, like behind the scenes, like making all these beautiful things.
I love how like our MBTI happy hours like bleed into one another. Like this one I was totally like influenced by like just like the Western astrology.
Oh my
gosh,
then
like also Greek gods ties into astrology, and it all kind of it's all like merging. Maybe just my NI too, and like all like merging into one thing.
No, this is a good advertisement. It's like if you watch one, you have to watch them all.
Okay. So INFJ. For INFJ, I also put snake. So snake was weird. On the website that I went to, it kind of like had two different, or at least the way I envisioned it, it had like one set of characteristics that seemed INTJ and one that seemed more INFJ. So the ones that seemed more INFJ were like wise, romantic, sophisticated, and of course all the things about like thinking first and acting second, and kind of being secretive, and maybe also having few friends that also still holds for NI-DOMs, but yeah, the romantic and sophisticated, it seems kind of like FE, and also the wise, kind of like I think INTJs don't really care to like share our knowledge with others all the time, but like INFJs will do so in such like a open and loving manner that they just come off with this wisdom. So
INFJs are so wise. It's just obvious. Oh man, yeah, this is another half match. For INFJ, I put rabbit? Yeah, I put rabbit.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. For my placemat description, it wasn't like so specific to be respectful and stuff. It just said lucky, which I think of as like voodoo INFJ stuff. Talented and articulate, which could be ISFJ too, but yeah, talented and articulate. Affectionate, which I think of as like the SE, like low SE. Affectionate yet shy, I think of that as like NISE. And then you seek peace throughout your life. And I think of INFJs as like the peace, you know, like throughout life, like so peaceful that you're like basically Buddha. With INFJs.
Oh my gosh, I love how we like paint INFJs in the series. They're always just like this visionary of like Zen. It's like all knowing and like transcended everyone else.
Rabbit, yeah.
Okay, so for ESFJ, I said dragon. So dragon is ambitious, energetic, a natural leader, charming, and eloquent. So I feel like, especially the last three, like natural leader, charming, eloquent, seems like dominant FE to me. Yeah, I feel like dominant FE users are, at least like the ESFJs I know, are quite ambitious, and that tertiary NE kind of makes them like spontaneously energetic sometimes. So.
Wow, this whole like description, our descriptions are so different.
Yeah.
Okay, so I put horse. My mom is ESFJ and also a horse. So it's like maybe a bit biased, but for my description it says popular and attractive to the opposite sex, which I don't know, like you guys know that whenever I make associations, ESFJ is like the cheerleader, so I think of like popular and attractive. Also says you are often ostentatious and impatient, and I don't know, this one was kind of weird, but I think of like, you know, the other stereotype of like how ESFJs, when they want to be positive, they're just like, yeah, like, get over it, yay, like everything's sunny once again. So I thought of it as kind of that. So I guess it was like emotionally impatient. So
right.
That was my association.
Okay. So for ENFJ, I also put dragon because, yeah, I guess we have to have some overlaps with 12 types. So yeah, I guess honestly, pretty much same reasons. I just felt like the dragon seemed so dominant FE to me. So again, like natural leader, charming, eloquent seemed like, yeah.
That's so crazy because my like Chinese menu description of dragon is like so different. Yeah, I thought this one was so obviously bored based on this description. It says noble and chivalrous, which I thought of as like FE. Your friends will be lifelong. Yeah, I thought of the ENFJ as having lifelong friends.
Yeah.
It's so little to work with.
Okay, ISFP. So for ISFP, I put sheep, which I think you put for ISFJ. So again, it's like the last one where we mix those two up. So anyways, okay, so sheep is like mild, diligent, does what they think is right, compassionate, appreciates art and beauty. So I guess, yeah, I thought like, especially just that one phrase, like does what they think is right, that made me think of like dominant FI, and mild kind of make me thought of like introversion and the whole appreciating art and beauty. You think of like an ISFP artist stereotype, I guess.
Okay. ISFPs are kind of like similar to me, but yet I see them as so different. Like I see them as like on this other plane of intensity. Okay, so we did the same thing with Artemis, who you were like INTJ, I'm like ISFP. So I thought the snake was definitely ISFP.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So for the snake, it didn't say all these like cool things that it said for you. Like yeah, all it said was wise and intense, with a tendency towards physical beauty, vain and high-tempered. So obviously I think of that like the high-tempered and physical beauty thing as SE. And the whole intense thing I think of as like FI and I, which I guess INTJ also has. Yeah, I don't know. I think FI is kind of wise. So no, like FI and I, wisdom and beauty and violent temper. Yeah, ISFP.
Okay, so for INFP, I also put sheep. Yeah, again, I guess the kind of mild and does what they think is right, seems like introversion and high FI. And I guess appreciate art and beauty. I just thought like, okay, it's just different art and beauty. It's like more NESI art and beauty. Like they might appreciate more like literature or like film, like in your case, or like poetry or things, or music maybe, or lyrics, or that kind of art. So I thought it still applies.
Okay. So this was one of the ones where I was like, yeah, none of these like really fit that well. So I actually put the dog, which I put for ISTJ. It's like the flipped ISTJ, because it's kind of like the description is pretty bland. It says like loyal and honest, which is FI, and work well with others. I think most INFPs work well with others. Generous yet stubborn. So I think we tend to have that dichotomy as well. Like we give a lot, and yet we think about like we're very self-centered, yet we also give a lot.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, ESFP. So for ESFP, I put pig, or I guess what you called boar. So yeah, so for my description, it said
We mixed the FI and FE again.
Okay, so it said that they are like flexible, gentle, optimistic, hold unique viewpoints, honest and frank, naive, and quick-tempered. Yeah, let me see. There's a lot.
That's seriously all mine said was noble and chivalrous. What is this?
And it's like so different too.
Yeah, that's like completely opposite.
Oh my gosh.
We're not mixing the FI FE. It's like their
They are.
descriptions are totally like messed up.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah, so the whole like flexible and like optimistic and kind of quick-tempered made me think of like high SE, and like gentle and like holding unique viewpoints and honest and frank made me think of like FI.
I put tiger, which so I did the same thing with INFP, ISTJ. I put like ESFP, ENTJ, same functions. I put tiger. I think of them as also aggressive and sensitive because they're still FI, and candid, obviously. And
That makes sense.
Beautiful, tiger, strong.
Okay, so ENFP. For ENFP, I put rat. So the rat is...
Oh my gosh, so different.
Oh no, okay, the rat is outgoing, cheerful, sociable, quick to respond, may change jobs quickly.
Oh my god, I put that for INTJ. I'm such a fail. Fail!
And can be picky with others. So, okay, a lot of it like outgoing, cheerful, sociable, quick to respond. It all seems like NEFI to me. And then the one thing that they said was can be picky with others, and I thought of that as like an SI grip.
Yeah. Oh, so it's so funny because you were like dragon is so FE. I put that for ENFP because for some reason the first thing, like all it says for dragon is you're eccentric. Like it said all these FE things for you,
Right.
and then for me it says you're eccentric and your life is complex. You are very passionate. Oh, you have a very passionate nature, which is like that's all like any FI. And abundant health. So I almost put dragon for INFP until I got to abundant health. I don't know. I think INFPs are so bad at just keeping up with routine that they tend to have like really bad health. Nothing life threatening, just not sleeping on time and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right.
So I just thought this is a polo thing. I just thought of this like radiant, like eccentric ENFP dragon.
Okay, ISTP. So for ISTP, I put dog. Although to be honest, I think this is the last one I typed, and I was like, maybe it doesn't fit that much, but I feel like some of it actually does kind of fit. So it's independent, which I feel like is like high TI. It's courageous, agile, and active, which I associate with SE. Cool-headed, which again sounds like high TI or just like a high thinker, and emotionally distant. But then they're loyal, and I think of that like, but they're also loyal as like the low FE. That like, yes, they can be emotionally distant, but underneath it all, they'll be loyal.
I just, same kind of functions again. I put boar, pig. I don't know, noble and chivalrous. It made me think noble as like TI, like this like TI like grand scheme thingy as like noble, like the most noble of knowledge possible. And then like chivalrous, it made me think of like how inferior FE people often like do the extra FE things.
Right.
Yeah, like just the ones that I know, they will do the extra chivalrous things because they don't know like how else to FE with their emotions. Yeah. It also says your friends are lifelong. I just feel like the ISTP ninja dude will be like so busy they'll probably have like one friend who is like a lifelong friend.
Okay, yeah, so INTP, so I put dog again just because it was like also a high TI user, so it made sense with like the cool-headed and emotionally distant, but also loyal with that low FE underneath. And independent. I do think INTPs are kind of independent in their TINE.
Oh my gosh, this is one of the first ones I put. It was like so obvious. So like I put the rooster. Yeah, I guess my description was much more simplistic than yours. So I always like identified with this one, which is kind of funny because I'm Aquarius and Aquarius is so obviously INTP, and yet I identify with it so much because FI and TI are super similar. So it says, a pioneer in spirit, you are devoted to work and quest after knowledge. You're selfish and eccentric. So
Oh, cool.
I didn't think of the selfish as FI, I just thought of it as like low FE, and just INTPs are just, they just are eccentric, even if they don't try to be. Like, I try to be eccentric, but they don't try, they just are. And then, yeah, I definitely think of like TI and E as pioneers. There's like probably lots of INTPs that made like crazy leaps in society in terms of science. I just thought of you're devoted to work and quest for knowledge as in they're devoted to the work that brings them knowledge. I just like conflated the two.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, ESTP. So ESTP, I put horse.
I put horse. There's nothing else to do for ESTP.
Yeah, so for my description, it was like friendly, positive, good communicator, likes to do surprises, can be persuasive, live in the moment, doesn't prepare for the future. So yeah, a lot of that seemed like both high SE and like also like the positive and good communicator and persuasive seemed like that tertiary FE.
Yeah. I didn't get the not prepare for the future part. All I said was ostentatious, attractive. I'm like, okay, ESTP is a male like jock version of the horse, and the ESFJ is the girl cheerleader version of horse. Done.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
Guys, I swear I prepare for these videos. It sounds like what?
Okay, and I think, actually, because I don't think I remembered you saying this earlier, I think we actually got ENTP
we got
the same too.
Oh my god, finally, I didn't try to do something original. Like, let's just put the obvious ones to the obvious.
Okay, so monkey. Is that what you put?
Monkey!
Yay! And interestingly, I'm a monkey. Even though we're like the same age, but I guess we're like on different ends of the New Year cutoff there. So yeah, I don't know. INTJ, ENTP, it's like opposite in some ways. I don't know if I really relate to monkey, but okay. So monkey is lively, flexible, quick-witted, versatile, very curious. They have wisdom. So a lot of that sounds like high FE, like lively, flexible, quick-witted, versatile, and very curious and wisdom is also like I think the TI coming in. And apparently they can be stubborn, and again I thought that could be like an SI grip as well.
This is so perfect. According to the menu, it says you're very intelligent, that's METI. You're able to influence people, that's like hidden agenda FE. An enthusiastic achiever, I think of that as a secretly strong sixth function, which for them is TE. You are easily discouraged and confused. I think of that as low SI. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, just, yeah, it's too much in E. Too much in E. Yeah.
Yay! Okay, so let us know what's your Chinese Zodiac sign, and do you think it matches with your MBTI type? And let us know, because like what you think of like what the actual characteristics of these animals are, because like we had very different characteristics for a lot. Yeah, so thanks so much for watching, you guys. If you enjoy our content, please consider pledging your support on Patreon, because it really does help us out. And we'll see you next time. Bye!